Hey everybody, welcome to the I Am Podcast YouTube channel.
Make sure to tap the bell, subscribe, and comment down below.
Hey everybody,
Welcome back.
we have been on a nice little fall holiday here.
Yeah, a little hiatus.
We are so excited to be back.
Yeah, we have a very, very, very special guest today. Today we have Lorraine, our founder and owner, operator, her children. So,
If you guys could please introduce yourselves and why you're here.
yeah.
I'm Alex, and I am Lorraine's oldest kid, and just kind of here to talk about like our experience with having our mom be a surrogate.
Perfect.
Hi, I'm Aiden, Lorraine's other child son. Um, just here to talk about how the benefits of talking to or being able to connect with other families that have gone through this and share experiences and everything.
Very cool. And what do you both do for work?
So I actually work at the company as well. I am the team care coordinator, so I book all the flights for and hotels for the surrogates and egg donors.
And I do new construction plumbing.
Very
Cool.
cool. Very cool.
So,
Yes, we are very, very happy to have Alex join us. Alex has taken over Randy's position, and so we're very, very happy to have them with us. And it's been very exciting for us to have someone new on the team. So, very cool.
let's take things back to the beginning. So how old were you guys when your mom did her surrogacy?
I'm trying to think. I think we were about 7 and 8.
About that.
Do you guys remember
Yeah.
that time?
Not a lot. I remember like meeting Lindsay and Warwick, which is my mom's IPs, her couple that she helped. I remember meeting them, and we went to Whistler, and it was the first time they'd ever seen snow. So I remember that being really fun. We had like a snowman kit thing that we used to make a snowman with.
I love that. Do you guys remember what the conversation was like when your mom told you that she was going to do this? Like, was it something that she had always talked about you with, or was it something that she kind of just sprung on you? Like, do you remember that?
I remember her like telling us about it, and I want to say that she did like take our opinion into it, but I mean, at the end of the day, like she's still, she was an adult, so
Yeah.
she's going to be making her own choices, but she
Right.
definitely took our thoughts into consideration.
Right.
Yeah, she definitely explained a lot to us about how much it's helping this other family being able to grow as we are as one family.
That's very cool. I think it's so amazing, especially when like the kids are old enough to understand what's going on. Like, just to have them be a part of it is really cool.
And did you feel like kind of once things got started and, she was pregnant and those things, did it change your guys' life at that time, or did you feel like it was still like things were kind of going as they should, and that really in a lot of ways your day-to-day life wasn't actually really all that affected by it?
I don't think our day-to-day life was expected. Like it was just, like the same if, we had been older and my mom was having a kid of her own, she is pregnant. It just
Right.
means that at the end of that, she just wasn't bringing the baby home,
Right.
right? So like I don't think it really affected the day-to-day life for us.
And was that something, like, do you remember at the time, was there ever a point where you guys were like sad about that or upset that you weren't getting to bring this baby home, or was it just kind of one of those things and it was nothing that really upset you guys?
I don't remember it ever like upsetting us. It was just kind of, I think she explained it pretty well, like how she was going to be helping this other family become like expanding their family and having their own baby and
Right.
stuff. So I think it was just kind of like a cool experience. And like I think too, being able to meet the like Lindsay and Warwick, and we still have a relationship with them. Like we do Christmas presents every year. And I think it was just kind of something that just happened,
Yeah.
something that she did, and it was kind of cool. And like when we actually a few years ago, back in 2013, it was
2014, 13.
I think it was 2013, we went out to Australia and we stayed with them for like 2 weeks.
Oh, that'd be so
So
cool.
it was really cool to kind of be able to see them like all grown up.
Yeah.
As we were a bit more grown up and had learned a lot more about the process of IVF and how much it did actually help this other family be able to
Right.
grow.
Yeah.
And from what I can recall, I don't think I was never mad or sad about not being able to have another little sibling come home,
Right.
just because it was explained so well about how much it was helping this other family that we were grateful and proud of our mom for helping the other family be able to expand.
Honestly, I think I was pretty happy that another baby wasn't coming home because that meant less attention, like no attention's gonna be taken away from us, right? Like there's not a new baby that needs your attention 24/7 in the house. So it's nice that it's just gonna still only be the two of us.
Was that ever a thing where you guys did feel any kind of like jealousy towards your mom having attention for another child, even though it wasn't in the house? Like,
No, definitely not. And I feel we were so close with the IPs and the
right.
family, they almost became like
A
a
secondary.
secondary family to us, so we were definitely not jealous at all, I don't think.
Ah, I love that. That's so cool. I think that is something that people think of. Like, surrogacy sometimes in some lights has such a, or in some circles has such a dark light on it. And so I think that's really important that you guys didn't feel that way. And it's really, yeah, you shouldn't feel that way, right? But I think
Yeah,
people
I think
use
I
that
just
as
remember
a,
being like excited, being because like with having the IPs travel out to Canada as well, we got to
mm-hmm,
go on more trips because of that.
right?
And like there was even I remember one time like we went with her to go to the clinic, so we got to take go out for a weekend out to Victoria, and
Right,
we got to do a bunch of fun stuff out there,
right.
right? So like we got to go on a few more like little trips that we wouldn't have before. So I
Yeah,
feel like that was just exciting on that end too,
It
right?
almost brought our family closer together, being able to do those things with our mom.
yeah,
As we were a bit younger, we weren't in school and as often, like,
right.
and didn't
Yeah.
have jobs or nothing like that, obviously, at 7 years old. But so we tagged along to a lot of those clinic appointments, and it was really cool.
That's super neat. I love that.
Let's talk a little bit actually about your trip when you went in 2013. How did that feel like? Because obviously there'd been quite a bit of time between seeing these people, and I mean, Izzy had changed so much, and was more like closer to being a friend. How was that? Like, was it awkward at all? Did it kind of just like flow really well?
I feel like it was a little awkward at first meeting like Izzy, just because like I mean when she was born we're around 8 years old,
Yeah.
and now we're 13, like 12, 13, and then she's 6, 7 kind of thing, right? Or whatever the math is for that.
Yeah.
But so I feel like it was just meeting like a new person. It was a little awkward just because of that, but like it was, I know, like I remember meeting Lindsay and Warwick when my mom was like first, was their surrogate. And so it was really nice being able to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
right, right.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
like your
And I mean, also
connection was
too, like at
more.
that age as kids, it's really
Yeah.
easy to meet other kids and be friends and had no issues on that
Yeah,
end, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and like we had said before, we had exchanged Christmas presents every year, and we still do
right.
to this day. But it was cool to see. Like we always gotten these presents and seen it signed by Lindsay and Warwick, but we're so young, I didn't remember their face. And then when we met them, it was like, oh, you're the one that's our second family.
Right.
Our
Like we
secret
always had
Santas.
that online connection, but it was really
Right.
nice to meet them.
That's so cool.
So really, honestly, I think it's interesting that you say that because, especially like for my position and what I do, and in talking to people who are thinking about surrogacy and joining and starting a surrogacy journey, is when they're worried about the connection to the baby and kind of the relationship and what you expect, and we tell a lot of people that your connection really actually becomes more with your intended parents than it does with your baby, and with the baby, I guess I should say. And it's really interesting that even like you guys kind of say like it was a little bit more about them, and yes, connecting with Izzy and doing those things, but those are the people that you had really started the relationship with, so it was
Mm-hmm.
a little smoother that way.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
I know your guys' mom talks to Izzy a lot. Do you talk to Izzy a lot as well?
Not nearly as much as she does.
No.
Yeah, I do have them on social media, so I see some updates and stuff like that, but not too much direct messaging. But
Right.
you still see it. Drop a little like on Facebook,
Yeah.
drop a comment, congratulations on graduating, kind of thing.
Right.
But definitely not day to day. But we keep in touch.
That's really cool. Did you guys want to go to Australia when your mom went? Like 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago?
Oh, very much so. More just
Yeah.
just to go to Australia, just gonna be real honest.
Right?
But I mean, like because she also has a younger sister, Caitlin. So we're actually going to be going out next. The plan is to go out next year to go see her graduation.
Oh, very cool.
So we'll see them all again, and I'm excited to see them all again because it was really cool like getting to meet them and like just being kind of like again like having them on social media and just kind of seeing their like life updates. Even if we're not super close now, like just having those like seeing those life updates and like seeing how they've grown and changed and become like their own people, like their own person, right?
I think that's the coolest thing is to see their whole life that they wouldn't have without your mom.
Well, and I actually think it's really cool, and I'm really happy that you guys get to go next year because I think some of the, like, just as you age, the people that are, a few years younger than you, once you're all adults, you're kind of all adults, right? Like, it's a little different, and maybe it'll be a little more kind of like peers and more like friends because the age gap is not
It's
as
closing,
obvious
yeah.
when you're more of an adult as opposed to a kid.
Yeah, like when you're 6 and 13, that gap is pretty big, honestly. But when you're 18 and 24? 24?
Something
Like
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
That
just turned
gap is not
25,
quite
so
the same.
they're
Yeah.
like 18. So
Yeah.
The gap closes, and I think that's really cool and an opportunity for even like as you guys said, not super close, but also that like kind of connection for the rest of your life is really special.
Oh, it's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever a time where you guys were like upset that your mom was a surrogate? Like, did anybody ever like your peers in school ever like say anything to
Because we
you?
know kids are
Yeah,
like, was
they
it
are.
ever something that you guys were like bullied about, or like was there any kind of like negative talk around it? I guess when it came to your age mates.
I would say more just kind of confusion,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
like not knowing what surrogacy is.
Right.
Right. But once we kind of like explained it to them from what like, at that age, how you can explain it.
Right.
I think most people thought it was cool or they just didn't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was just like, oh, okay, like, yeah, she's pregnant, but it's not her baby. The baby's going to go elsewhere once
Right.
it's born. Okay, whatever.
Right.
Right.
Were you guys there for the birth?
I don't think so. I know we met her like fairly soon after, like before they went home,
Right.
but I don't think we were like actually there at the hospital. I think our grandparents were watching us.
What was that like? Were you like that feeling? Do you remember like the night your mom went to the hospital for that?
Honestly, I don't
No.
remember it.
Not overly. Not that day specific, but the whole experience definitely do remember a lot of key points.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if you were like from your position now as a grown kid, adult, whatever? What's a piece of advice you would give to if you could give the 6 and 8-year-old version of yourselves like a piece of advice or say something about it from the position you're in now? What would it be?
Um, Honestly, probably just saying like, like your mom's doing this amazing thing, and well, you may not be getting a sibling at the end of the day. You are still going to be getting like a sort of cousin, right?
Right.
Like it's still going to be somebody that
It
you're still
expands
going to
your
be
family.
pretty close with them, and like
Right.
it just kind of you're just expanding your world a little differently.
Right. That's really cool.
Kind of in the same line of what Alex said, but as well as just like don't be upset that, your mom has to go to a clinic appointment or something like that and you can't come along because it's just in the end of the day it is just something so amazing that is happening and you just kind of just gotta wait for it and it will happen.
Right, yeah. Do you guys have anything that while you were getting ready to come and talk to us that you were thinking that you wanted to talk about?
Not really, honestly.
No?
It was honestly just a pretty like straightforward experience on
Yeah.
I feel like that it was on like on our end, like it was a thing mom was doing, and that well, yeah, it's exciting. She's gonna be like there's gonna be a baby at the end of the day,
Right.
but and like it's not our sibling, but it's still someone that we can be close with, and it's just honestly like other than like obviously like at the end of the day the baby's going home to a different family, it was just like any other pregnancy.
Right. Right.
Like it doesn't really affect you.
No, yeah.
I was kind of thinking about before this podcast that just like I was just thinking about how crazy it is that we were able to, or our mom was able to help this family across the world, let alone in our own city or anything, but
Yeah.
across the world, there's a child growing up, that the family would have just been the two parents if we weren't able to help them.
Totally, totally. That's the coolest thing I think is that you make parents. Like she made those people parents. Like it's so
Hmm.
cool. Yeah.
It really is. I mean, to just brag on your mom for a minute, I think the legacy that
Mm-hmm.
has come from her simple act of kindness, I think is just truly beautiful and something I think we're all lucky to, be a part of and, change the world because she started it. And I think
Yeah.
that's really cool, and the things that have not only did she bless this family, but because of that, the sequential things to that, I think is really amazing and really moving.
Yeah. What was
Hmm.
it like when your mom started anew? Do you remember that
There
time?
was a lot of like go play kind of thing. I'm busy, but that's okay because we knew she wanted the best for us and herself and her own company.
Right.
And it's shown over, it took a long time and a lot of hard work. And we gave a lot of support, helping her make dinner and stuff while she's doing paperwork or whatever. But just to see how much it's grown from in the last whatever 6 or 7 years that she's had the
Well, she
company.
said it since like 2009.
Oh yeah, so many years I don't even know. It's grown exponentially, and it's
Yeah.
really crazy and very cool to see all the hard work that she's put in over 10 to 15 years. But in the beginning, no, I don't think it bothered us too much, I don't think,
You just
Yeah.
became good
personally.
cooks.
I mean, like starting a company is a lot different than like than the surrogacy journey, right?
Right.
So like the starting of the company, yeah, like okay, she's gonna be busier and that can be a little frustrating because she can't always give you your attention. But I mean, like
Right.
even if it's a parent not starting a business and they're just, going to work, that's just something that happens,
Yeah,
Hmm.
right?
totally.
So I feel like the start of like starting the company really wasn't any different than having a parent that goes to work.
Yeah, and
Totally.
we were super young when it first started as well as with Izzy's birth. But just being able to grow up and watch it grow as we grow is just something super cool to see.
Yeah.
So it didn't really affect us too much. I also don't really remember it that much. We were like 8 years old, but
Right.
Like, okay, so your mom is not a cook. Do you guys cook?
I mean, I don't enjoy cooking, so I don't cook super often. Aiden's a fantastic cook
There we
though.
go. That's
yeah,
why your
maybe it
mom
was
doesn't have
me
to
that's
cook.
helping her out more so when she first started the company.
Nice.
Can you help me chop potatoes kind of thing?
That's funny.
It didn't, I don't think it ever affected us negatively in
Right.
our entire lives. There was really only positives to do with the whole experience.
I love that. That's
Oh.
so special.
Well, thank you guys
Yeah.
for jumping on and having this conversation with us, because it's really cool to have a story so, I don't know, not complete because you have the whole rest of your lives and Izzy has the whole rest of her lives, but to talk to someone who's had more, real life experience that's
Well, you've
farther
seen the
back
whole
now.
journey.
Yeah,
Like, you've seen the birth, and they just graduated high school. Like, how cool is
Mhm.
that? How cool.
yeah, and
So
just
neat.
kind of your thoughts, because I think that's something that we
And not only did you see Izzy grow, but you watched Anu grow as well. So that's such a blessing. Like, it's
yeah,
so cool.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
But we
We won't take up all of
yeah,
your day.
yeah, we won't take up all of your time. So thank you guys for joining us,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we will talk soon.
Yeah.